Hello again everyone and welcome to the Weather Centre. A massive sandstorm has been passing across the Arabian Peninsula over the past few days, causing quite a few disruptions. And the satellite imagery clearly indicates the cloud of sand across much of the region. But the enhanced satellite imagery picks the storm up quite clearly, and this is indicated by these shades of pink across the area. And this really indicates the extent of the storm extending across much of the southern portions of the peninsula, even across down into parts of Djibouti. And we can see the storm extending all the way northwards towards Iran and even Pakistan. Now let's take a look at our very own satellite imagery, where we can see the thunder shower activity that's been developing during the course of this Friday afternoon, extending from around the Springbok area in the Northern Cape all the way through to the Eastern Cape. And this is just the beginning, as we're expecting some very wet weather to settle in across the area overnight. It's been a cloudy and cool day along the southern coastline as well as the adjacent interior. Now the futurecast clearly indicates where the heavier rainfall will be taking place this evening. Showers and thunder showers extending particularly into the Eastern Cape overnight as well as into tomorrow morning. Mainly cloudy through the central parts, although it's still going to be a fairly dry night, while partly cloudy weather will continue for the rest of today in the far northeastern corner. Heading into tomorrow, and it's going to be mainly cloudy over parts of the Western and Eastern Cape, quite wet for some places as well. A few thunder showers still possible from Uppington all the way through to the Free State and in KwaZulu-Natal, and a few light showers may also develop for some parts of Limpopo. Now for tonight, it remains dry over opposite ends of South Africa, but in between the two, some very wet weather in the forecast over parts of the Karoo, extending towards the wild coast of the Eastern Cape, and only very isolated showers and perhaps even some thunder in the northwest as well as the far northern parts of the Free State. The wind stream animation indicating very windy conditions continuing overnight along the west coast, and those winds will persist well into your Saturday afternoon and evening as well. A low pressure pops off the eastern coastline tomorrow, and we can clearly see the circulation around that. And here we can see a very good onshore flow developing tomorrow along the southern coastline, where we are expecting some very wet weather later on Saturday as well. Minimum temperatures now, and we're not expecting any surprises overnight, generally in the mid to lower teens for much of the interior. Higher than that near the coastline of South Africa, particularly for Durban and Richards Bay. Tomorrow afternoon will be hot once again for the Lowveld and in Richards Bay, getting up to 32 degrees. A mild day expected for the central and southern parts, particularly along that south coast, with George reaching a high of only 19. Fairly cool as well for Cape Town, with a maximum of only 22. For your Easter Sunday, we're going to see dry weather along the west coast, but very wet along the southern coastline of the country, and a few showers and thunder showers in Durban as well. And it's going to be a dry Monday for the central parts of South Africa, while Mbombela can expect a few passing showers with a high of 25.